So we're going to speak about three main topics, what we went through these verses, the next time we are allotted. And I remember Mamni Mataji had asked a question about bhakti. Does it happen by punya? Does it happen by karma? So that'll get answered in this discussion. Right? So the first topic is, or maybe Krishna is answering two questions of Arjuna, or two situations of Arjuna. The first thing which Krishna is speaking about is that you should fix your mind. Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam asthiram tato tato, bring the back mind and put it in yoga, which is, here he's speaking about dhyana yoga and this pain, or we can say, to meditate on the Supreme. And after speaking all this and speaking what will happen if you do it, so fixing the mind on the Supreme is the process of dhyana yoga, which we said is a part of Satya Yuga and is not practical now. But principally, that is the same thing that we are doing in Bhakti Yoga. As I mentioned, Bhakti Yoga is letting you go through all those realizations and taking you to perfection. Like you go by a staircase. Remember the yoga ladder we spoke? What is the first part of the yoga ladder? Jnana Yoga. The middle part? Dhyan. Then the ultimate part? Bhakti. That's like the staircase. And then you catch the Bhakti lift. So if you catch the Bhakti lift, you go directly. So all those realizations and experiences a Jnani, Dhyani will get. Bhakti Yogi, as he performs his sadhana, will get all those experiences. Make sense? So, a Dhyana Yogi's main practice is to fix himself on the Supreme. Meditate on the Super Soul. And how do we perform that in Bhakti Yoga? What is the synonymous of fixing a yogi, fixing his mind on the Super Soul? And that is like Samadhi. Like after doing all the preparation, the Samadhi aspect, Dharana Dhyana Samadhi is, you're like fixing on the Supreme. You've seen that photo? Very interesting photo. Open plate 6. You see this. This is a Dhyana Yogi. Plate 6. Colorful plates. Got it? You can see here. Oh, you see what I'm showing, even if you don't. See that? That's the Dhyana Yogi. And you know how many years? Thousands of years. Tens and thousands of years. Now you may say, Prabhuji, how does he get his food? How does he get his everything? Where is he getting it from? Yeah, but how is he getting? Because he's meditating on the Super Soul. There is direct nourishment. That is why the body will go on. Make sense? Otherwise, somebody doesn't eat for tens and thousands of years. How do they survive? Whatever. That means the nourishment of the soul happens. Then the bodily aspects are automatically ensured. Right? So in our bhakti process, how are we kind of doing something synonymous? Like, as I said, meditating on the Supreme. What are we doing? And where would we get our nourishment from? Chanting. So the holy name, and how are we meditating? How are we meditating? We're meditating on the sound. We have to create the sound very distinctly and hear. That is our meditation. Prabhupada said, chant distinctly and hear attentively. These are the two things Prabhupada said. So when we chant, we should not mumble the chanting. It should be clear. How many words are there in the holy name? How many syllables are there in holy name? 32. Each word has Krishna, Rama, Hare. So that's 32 syllables. So Prabhupada said chant distinctly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. If you chant distinctly, you can hear attentively. And we close our eyes and we really chant and hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. It should be like a meditation. Our chanting proper taught us. Yes, so Prabhupada is writing purports to help us understand. See, Prabhupada said that it is not practical. Now Arjuna is saying it's not practical. Krishna said it's not practical. So Prabhupada is giving us the understanding that how Bhakti Yoga will ensure all these realizations. You don't have to separately practice this. Through the Gita, you will see Krishna is always making, Prabhupada is always making this emphasis how ultimately by Bhakti Yoga, all these things are included. Don't think you'll miss any train. मैं मुझे ये वर्शिप नहीं करूँगा तो उनका क्या होगा? My pitris are there, उनका क्या होगा? My worshipable deities are there, उनका क्या होगा? You know, if we are thinking all that, that means we have not understood bhakti. You know, we haven't understood Krishna being source of everything. You know, we think, you know, Krishna is there, but maybe. The Prabhupada is clarifying, Krishna is be all of everything. If you worship Krishna, those whom you couldn't find to worship also will get worshipped. Right? In the Bhagavatam it says, so many people you owe debts. That is the reason you worship demigods, forefathers, saints and everything. You know, there's a reason why we worship all of them, because we have debts. The demigods are giving us water, sunlight. We are supposed to worship them. The forefathers have given us the culture, everything. We're supposed to worship them. But the Bhagavatam explains very clearly that if you're serving the Mukundangri, everything is taken care to solve all the debts. The Prabhupada says, just like water the root, you don't have to go and water every leaf and branch. Make sense? If you want to nourish the tree, you take your spray, get onto the tree, and keep spraying on every leaf of the peepal tree. You may miss something, and they may get offended. Sabko diya, humko nahi diya. Like imagine you call a big gathering, you show kindness on everyone, and one person invited is not kindly dealt, and he can become your sincere enemy. Yes, no? So it is like Afat ko invite kiya. But if you want to play safe, what the route? Krishna Arpanam. Everybody included. Right? And this is a faith that we need to practice Krishna consciousness. This is the fundamental thing. And Prabhupada is again and again stressing it through all these explanations because it takes a while to get that faith. Prabhupada is saying the whole Ashtanga Yoga meditation, like what you see this yogi doing for 10,000 years, and see the austerity. This will all happen if you just sit, you close your eyes and distinctly chant, attentively hear, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So what's happening when you're chanting? And who is the sound? Krishna is the sound. Krishna is appearing when you chant. As we said, this is from the Goloka, this is Krishna. So when you chant, you're able to feel Krishna. Are you not able to feel Krishna? How do you feel the air? Through touch. Right? How do you feel the sound? Through ears. So are we seeing Krishna every day? Yes. Through the holy name, you're experiencing every day through your ears. So when you're chanting, you're with Krishna as a sound. Sound is not a personification of Krishna. Sound is Krishna. So when you're producing, like we did Sankirtan, why did we feel joy? Because you're with Krishna. The yogi, why is he feeling nourished? Because he is meditating on the super soul. And when we are doing kirtan and dancing, we are meditating on the holy name. That's why we are getting nourished. Do we not feel refreshed? You all were tired when you danced. Did you feel refreshed or not? This is what is the yogi experiencing. Para Isha Anubhava, contact with Krishna. The yogi is getting contact with Krishna, super soul. That's why he doesn't need to eat for 10,000 years. How can we feel refreshed? How can we feel nourished? Chant the holy name. It is not a figment of imagination. This is the process. Because the soul gets nourished, body is taken care. Right? Taken care. If you absorb yourself, you can experience it. Right? The whole ecstasy of a movement is because of being in touch with Krishna, the holy name, the sound. Right? So the same aspect the Ashtanga yogi is experiencing, how are you and me going to experience it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'll tell you one thing you can do, and you really feel absorbing. You make a plan to chant 4 rounds without opening your eyes and just hearing. This is called like a granthi. You make a commitment. I'm going to sit, close my eyes, and chant distinctly and hear. That's all. And be with the holy name for 4 rounds. You'll have an amazing absorbing experience. Because chanting is meditation on the sound. So, we got to do it very seriously. So, Ashtanga Yoga kind of give us that inspiration. The yogi was doing, I don't have to do that kind of tapasya. I just need to make sure my chanting of 4 rounds, 8 rounds with absorption. So then you do it with that absorption. And then what will happen? All the realizations will come. All the nourishment will happen. Right? First, you will be able to see Krishna everywhere. First realization of being with Krishna in meditation. What is the first realization? Yomam pashyati sarvatra. Pashyati? He can see Krishna everywhere. So Krishna is saying he is never lost in this world, wherever he is. Even if he is in Kumbh alone, he is not lost. Because Yomam pashyati sarvatra. If he is with Krishna chanting the holy name, meditating on the Supreme, every situation he will be unaffected by positive or negative. Like every situation we lament, every situation we become hankering. But if you meditate on the Supreme as the holy name, in every situation you can see Krishna and you will not feel lamentation, you will not feel suffering. This is the first result of this meditation of Ashtanga, or how we achieve it by meditating on the sound. So I'll request everyone, try this. Chanting 4 rounds with a granthi. Sit in a place, close your eyes, put your phone definitely on silent, because very difficult to do yoga with ring, 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 and look, sula do usko. And this is my little experience, little realization. Whatever phone calls come, in those 4 rounds you do, all those issues Krishna will solve, because you have surrendered to Krishna. Make sense? If you want, try it out. Try risking. Safely risk. It works. At least it has worked for me whenever I've tried. Right? So the first realization we will get is na shochati, na kankshati. What will we get? No hankering, no lamentation. And this whole world is filled with hankering, lamentation. So how do you free yourself from hankering and lamentation? You need Para Isha Anubhava. You need a contact with the Supreme Lord. Then only you can free yourself from the traffic jam of situations overwhelming you in your life, or in all our lives. Like, sometimes if somebody says, Prabhuji, everything is okay, just be positive, just be positive. But you have an overwhelming situation. There is a traffic jam. So much is happening. How can I be just positive, positive? It will become imaginative. He said, so, many times people say, think differently. Think like this. Think like this. अरे भाई कितना भी think करो है तो जाम में ही ना. Right? After thinking a lot, again he will get into jam only.
What is it called? No sochati?
Na shochati. Na shochati means no lamentation. Na kankshati. No hankering. Right? So when can you free yourself from na shochati, na kankshati? Contact with the Supreme Lord. And I was telling in the beginning of our discussion, the moment you contact the Supreme as a sound vibration, you get a lift. Lift. Airlift. Just like a plane flies 35,000 square feet, how much the traffic jam troubles you? How much the world kind of becomes significant? Similarly, if you chant the holy name and get in touch with Krishna in our situations, you will see immediately you get a lift. And then you go beyond na shochati, kankshati. Why? Because you are in touch with Krishna. And how are the yogis in touch with Krishna by meditation? How are we in touch with Krishna? By Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whatever be the situation. This is the first realization you will get. The second realization the Ashtanga yogi gets and a Bhakti yogi will get as he grows up is he can see Krishna in everyone. Someone appreciates you, someone rebukes you. Samaha. You can see everyone with kindness because you see Krishna in everyone. Right? No, that is the second stage, Paramatma stage.
No, like the bhakti stage where we are doing the Savanam, Kirtanam, then the last stage is Prema stage. That is where we see Krishna and his deed, Singh and his deed, living of like irrespective of whether it is material or spiritual.
No, that's a different stage. Seeing Krishna, seeing Super Soul in everyone. That is the second level of realization. You're seeing, you don't have experience of Krishna in person. In person, no, you can see. And the third realization is Mad Bhakti Labate Param. He gets in touch with Krishna. That is the Bhagavan stage. So the first stage of Nashochati na Kankshati is Brahman. Seeing Krishna everywhere, Super Soul everywhere is Paramatma. Paramatma realization. And actually getting in touch with Krishna is Bhagavan. So basically it's Brahman. Brahman platform.
First and second stage.
First stage, Brahman platform.
That's first realization.
Yes.
The second realization is?
You can see Krishna in everyone. So everyone's interactions for you, they're neutral. Someone rewards you or someone rebukes you. You feel same for both. You can't feel same for both in our conditioned state.
Going back to what I was just going to hear was like from the very first class, I will never forget those two sentences which you said on your Ashtahi Pratanam Sukham and Ashtahi Pratanam.
That's like the first stage pursuit. This Brahman platform we're talking is a way high platform. This is like liberation. Brahman is liberation. Paramatma is like reaching Vaikuntha. And Bhagavan is like reaching Goloka. Brahman is getting out. Paramatma is reaching. Paramatma is kind of on the way. Realization. And Bhagavan has reached Vaikuntha or Goloka. It's all. So, these are like realizations that will come on the path of bhakti. We can get experiences of those levels. The more a devotee becomes Krishna conscious, the more he will become less affected by hankering and lamentation. Okay, because he can see everything in relation to Krishna. He can see Krishna's hand. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. Everything he can see, okay, Krishna is a plan. Like, I walked in Kumbh. I was reluctantly going, but I was going because Acharya wanted me to go, and I thought I'll please him if I go. Right? In relationships, you don't want to go, your loved one wants to go, so you love them, so they go, so you go. So I went. So I followed. And we walked 20 kilometers. But when I walked 20 kilometers and I reached the pandal of ISKCON, that's when His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj entered the pandal. So the timing could not have been anything else. If he had come early, we would have missed him. If he came late, we would have missed him. We reached after 4.5 hours of walk, and that's exactly when he came. And then we toured with him for 1 hour. Now, how can this be coincidence? Sanjog kaise ho sakta hai? There was one more lady who had this experience. She was coming by a vehicle from Banaras or somewhere, and the vehicle got stuck in the traffic. So then suddenly someone said, "वो train जा रही है, उसको पकड़ लो." So 5 ladies caught that Prayagraj train. And of these 4 ladies said, "Akhada ghumenge." And one lady who was kind of devotee, she said, "No, I want to go to the ISKCON Akhada." And all this journey kind of had so many plus minus, and by the time she reached exactly when Maharaj came. So she became like mad. She says, "How can this happen? How can this happen? I just made a choice that I want to be with devotees. I didn't get distracted by other friends of mine. I just consciously kept choosing Krishna. Krishna reciprocated with me." So for a devotee, every situation he will actually be able to see Krishna creating that experience. Because before I started, Maharaj had cancelled his plan. And when I started, I came to know Maharaj is again cancelled his plan to make again the plan to come back. Then after the whole experience, I went to Sangam to take bath. After having walked 25 kilometers now. So on the way back is 25 kilometers again, by the way. So then what happened is, after taking bath in Sangam, Acharya gets a call. "Why don't you stay in the tent at 19? Earlier they didn't have a place. Why don't you stay?" And we were like just with our clothes on, like we had not come with any luggage. All our luggage was there. So then Acharya said, "Let's stay here." And I was like, "Stay here? What about tomorrow's clothes? What about my bathing? What about my things?" So he said, "Make up your mind." He said, "Give me time." But in 20 minutes, I started feeling yawning and tired because, till morning I've been walking. Then I said, "I think there's no way. 25 kilometers going back will be another 4-5 hours agenda. I'll find out a way and everything." Somewhere in Fafa Mound is a little way far. So then what happened is we stayed in the 19th sector. And when we stayed in the 19th sector, we had a tent. We stayed together. I slept, got up in the morning. In the morning, I got up a little late, 5 o'clock. And we heard an announcement from the temple hall. Today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class will be given by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And Maharaj spoke for 2.5 hours on glories of Prayagraj. I said, my Prayagraj visit is successful. I said I had come reluctantly, but Krishna gave me all realizations, one after the other, even without really knowing what's in store for me. Right? I met Maharaj, that was the first revelation. Went to Sangam and stayed back and got to hear from him. And finally I went to Rupa Goswami, Dashashwamedh Ghat. That was not in my plan. I just crossed Sangam and it happened to be there. Dashashwamedh Ghat. Without knowing. After I reached, it was there. Yeah, it's like, I landed there. When I crossed the 14 number pontoon bridge, I landed in the Shashwamedh Ghat. And I didn't plan. That's what I'm telling you. What I'm trying to say is, I just made a choice that I will follow the devotee in my life. I will stay with Guru Sadhu Shastra. I'll not get distracted by the world's tamjham. My mind is saying, don't do. My intellect is saying, why do? But my scripture is saying, do. Because this is supposed to be. My mind is opposed to, but I'm supposed to. So I don't oppose to, but I supposed to. And Krishna is reciprocating. So when you actually try to be Krishna conscious, meditate on the Supreme, serve, do all the things like Prabhupada has given. We have so much service, we have chanting, we have association. Then Krishna will actually start revealing himself to us. And that is why na shochati, na kangshati will happen. Not because we can tolerate, because we can see Krishna. We can see Krishna's hand. That's why we will not hanker and lament. कुछ भी सिचुएशन आ जाएगा, दूसरा व्यक्ति कहेगा यार इतना कुछ हो गया, तू कैसे संभाल लिया? बोले यार, I could see that it's good for me. Krishna is kind of creating this experience to strengthen my devotion or do something. The devotee internally has that trust and confidence. And it's not a figment of imagination because time proves it. So that is how, when you practice this Krishna consciousness, see basically what Prabhupada is doing is putting us in touch with Krishna again and again. Holy name, touch with Krishna. Gita, touch in Krishna. Deities, touch with Krishna. Devotees, touch in Krishna. Prasadam, touch in Krishna. Service, touch in Krishna. So Prabhupada is creating for us the practical implementation of a yogi meditating on the Supreme by giving us responsibility. Just like if you take up a service for the movement, you actually get, that's why I said, if you really want to experience Krishna consciousness, you should get married to a service. Right? Because if you get married to a service, you kind of get obliged. Because unless you get married, you don't feel obligation. Yes, no? That will come eventually, don't worry. Get married. Yeah. Yes. So that's how Prabhupada designed. So that is how Prabhupada had designed a very practical process for us to do sadhana and seva. These are two things that absorb us with Krishna. So for us, what happens, I have seen our absorption of service is more than our sadhana. Because sadhana needs purity to happen. It is always a struggle. But engaging our talent and our abilities in Krishna's service becomes more practical for us. Right? Because we have so much passion, so much energy. If you don't engage the passion, we have to engage it somewhere to do something superb. So, you kind of engage that in Krishna's service. Prabhupada always told the Americans, you Americans, if you don't do something big, what is the use of you being Americans? He would tell his disciples to charge them up. Right? So Prabhupada would say to us also the same thing. What is the use of being whatever you are if you can't do something superb for Krishna? So like that, we should take up a service which creates a lot of absorption. If it's easy, it is not going to create absorption. It has to be tough. You take up absorption. So this is how we perform our yoga, by sadhana and seva. The first revelation, Brahman, na shochati na kangsh. The next revelation, Paramatma, which is you can see Krishna in everyone. So then, no interaction you will be offended. कोई respect किया, कोई नहीं किया. Mana, apamana. Honor, dishonor is not so easy to digest with people. Right? Difficult ना? एक व्यक्ति थोड़ा आपको कुछ बोल दिया, हृदय में ऐसे रह जाता है जैसे कि जाता ही नहीं, उसको देखने में मुश्किल लगता है, दिन लग जाते हैं. तो तब क्या करना है? झुक जाओ, पर ईश अनुभव करो और झुक जाओ. Why lose energy on the relationship burning our heart? Bend down, forgive, माला करना है भाई. कहाँ उसको लेके जिंदगी भर चलेंगे या दिनों भर चलेंगे? Right? So Paramatma and then Bhagavan realization. So this is the first aspect of the parallel of how a bhakti yogi is getting all the experiences and realizations and perfection by doing his chanting, Bhagavad, association, sadhana, and seva. Right? Like that. We should get attached. Like some people get attached to serving the deities. In that way, they get absorbed. So, like that, everyone already has absorption. Put it with Krishna. If someone can influence people, Krishna has given them to influence, then you should use all that to influence them to become Krishna conscious. Not whoever has whatever, and everyone can categorically see what Krishna has given me. Maybe I'm creative, maybe I'm organizing, maybe I am this, maybe I am that. You don't have to shy. Be that for Krishna. Like that. And obviously, we do everything in seeing what Prabhupada would want us. We always stay within the framework. Like that. So, this is how the parallel. The second aspect of this topic is when Krishna says, control your mind, Arjuna says, my dear Krishna, chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramati balavadrida, tasyaham nigraham manye, vayureva sadushkaram. He says, controlling mind. He says, how is the mind? Chanchalam. Manah Krishna. Right? Chanchal means unsteady. Huh? Fickle. Have you ever interacted with a monkey? Monkey के साथ किसी ने interact किया है? अगर मानिए monkey यहाँ बैठा है, तो क्या वो बैठा रहेगा? उधर चढ़ जाएगा, इधर आके माइक पे बोलेगा, उधर चढ़ जाएगा, कैमरा से देखेगा, उधर चला जाएगा, उधर जाएगा, इधर जाएगा, फिर उधर जाएगा, फिर इधर जाएगा, फिर बैठ जाएगा, फिर जाएगा, चश्मा निकाल लेगा, ये करेगा, वो करेगा, ये करेगा, खुद डिस्टर्ब्ड, सबको डिस्टर्ब्ड. ये है हमारा मन. कुछ नहीं, किसी को छेड़ो, वो एजिटेटेड, वो आपको एजिटेटेड, यू डिस्टर्ब, वो रोया, ये रोया, दिन आज का बीत गया. Yes.
I read somewhere like the character of a man is compared to a monkey, right? So it's written that a monkey is fickle by nature, then he got drunk, consumes alcohol, gets stung by a scorpion, and before enters or possesses him, the fickleness reaches a level beyond imagination. Okay, to begin with, he is a monkey who is chanchala or fickle, and then surapanam, alcohol to make him tipsy, which is vishaka. So I think it is mentioned in the Shastra, right? This entire.
It's something like, there's a story. There's a story where the king had a very jigri dost. You know the story? And who was his jigri dost? Monkey. And they both went on a hunting expedition. They went on a hunting expedition, and the king took a big sword. And the monkey and the king went. And after a long expedition, the king became very tired. He said, मैं आराम करता हूँ, मेरे यार, सुकून से आराम करने दे मुझे, और तू देखना कि मुझे कोई डिस्टर्ब नहीं करे, और ये तलवार रखी है, तो यूज कर सकता है. तो मंकी बोला, तूने मुझसे दोस्ती की है. किससे? मुझसे. सो जा आराम से, कोई तेरे को तंग नहीं कर पाएगा. And he immediately took the sword. His king slept peacefully, and he took the sword. And immediately, so roaming around, cutting the tree, cutting the leaves. And he was like, I will not let anyone disturb my friend. And suddenly, a housefly said, who is this guy? Who is this guy who's come to disturb my friend? He's kind of, going everywhere around. The monkey took the sword, slashing the air to get the housefly into place. And the monkey realized the more he's slashing through the air, the housefly is becoming more agitated and going everywhere. You've seen housefly, it's not so easy to catch. Mosquito is different, but housefly is different. Then the monkey realized, thak gaya. So the housefly came and sat on the nose of the king. So the monkey said, Aaj meri dosti rang laegi. I am going to prove to my friend the investment in relationships he has done. So he put one leg on one side of the king, one leg over the other side, took the sword to kind of slay the housefly sitting on the tip of the nose. What's going to happen now? So if you make monkey your friend, what else can you expect? Obviously, I think we can write a thesis on my mind, Mera Man, and I think everybody will have a book full on what the mind can tell you to do the craziest things, right? So Krishna, so Arjuna says the first characteristic of mind is chanchalam. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. But is that all qualification of mind? He said no. Balavat. कोई चंचल है पर वो बहुत शक्तिशाली भी है. That is the second quality of the mind. Highly powerful. Balavat. Then pramati. What is pramati? Highly mad. चंचल होना अलग बात है, पर पागल होना. Pramati balavat. Right? Pramati balavat. Dridaha. I think there's one more quality. Sorry. Stubborn. Drida hai na? Yes. It is restless. It is turbulent. Turbulent is pramati. Then dridam, obstinate. You understand obstinate? Stubborn and very strong. So 4 qualities of the mind. Arjuna says, why I cannot practice this Ashtanga Yoga? Because I have to deal with the mind which is highly flickering like a monkey, strong like a wind. Can you control wind? Whenever we talk of wind, we may think, oh, what is the wind controlling? But just like tsunami, the day tsunami happened, all the waters in the ocean bed, they receded for kilometers. So all people who had gone for walking, they kind of became like fun, They started running as the water was sweeping back. Right? Sweeping back, and they were running with the waters. But then, at one point of time, the whole thing built up like 100 times the height of what it was. And that was wind moving the water. That's called a tsunami. And what happened? Just in a slash, lakhs of things, everything swayed. That's what is meant by strong. मन कितना strong है? Tsunami छोटा wind है. Right? That is mind. Third, pramati. Pramati means mad. Very, very mad. Mad means highly agitated. Highly agitated. मतलब अगर कोई मानिए पागल व्यक्ति आपके बगल में बैठा हो, आप बैठ पाओगे? Impossible. I remember once I was giving Bhagavatam class in Albert Road, and a person who was very strong and drunk, and he was like ऐसे ऐसे करके, was like very with high force moving. You understand? Like imagine someone is, and you don't know him, and Bhagavatam is like an open forum. So he's sitting there, I'm giving Bhagavatam class, and their kartals, everything were lying. Heavy metal, no? You imagine you throw at someone's head, right? वो बैठा था वहां पे मेरे सामने और ऐसे violently he was moving, and I was thinking, what's he up to? क्या करेगा? Anyway, the watchman became a little alert and he immediately picked him up and took him. But imagine someone is like mad and violent. It's like, he's strong and he's violent and he's sitting around. And अभी अभी उसने 4 लोगों का सर फोड़ा है और उसको लगता है कि 5 करना चाहिए आज, और आप बगल में हो. वो थर्ड क्वालिटी है. एंड फोर्थ, जिद्दी. जिद्दी मतलब इफ आई हैव चोजन यू कि तुम्हारा ही सर फोड़ना है, कुछ भी हो जाए मैं छोड़ूंगा नहीं. ये छोड़ूंगा नहीं मतलब ऑब्स्टिनेट. People are obstinate. Sometimes people are so obstinate that they can take it a lifetime to clear it up. I want to show the world, I will do it. मतलब वही मेडिटेशन चलता रहेगा. That's called obstinacy. तो मन इतना ऑब्स्टिनेट है. तो अर्जुन ये सब बताता है और बोलता है, प्रभु दुष्करम वायुरे. सर, आई कैन कंट्रोल सुनामी. अर्जुन says, I can control tsunami. मैं अर्जुन हूं, but not the mind. Who is saying? What is Arjun's qualification? He challenged Shiva and won the battle. That he got Pashupatastra from Shiva. That is Arjun. Lord Shiva came as a hunter because he wanted to bless Arjun, and they fought. And Arjuna kind of contested, and almost the Lord Shiva revealed and gave him Pashupatastra, which he used the Brahmastra. So this is Arjun who can fight Lord Shiva. And that Arjun who can fight Lord Shiva, who can fight all the Devatas, who is like an invincible person, he is telling here, Arjun is telling, मेरा जो मन है ना, मैं पूरी दुनिया को फतेह कर सकता हूं, ये बंदे को नहीं, या ये बंदी को नहीं. And that's there with us. And when it says mind is my enemy, we think they're joking. But Arjuna is telling to Krishna, Chanchalam balavat pramati dridaha. And have you seen our mind, how it works? We work with our mind, right? Do we feel these feelings? If our mind gets on something, करना है मतलब करना है. दुनिया जाए भाड़ा में, अपने को करना है. कुछ भी हो जाए करना है. That is the strength of the mind. So then when Arjuna qualifies the mind, now Krishna has to speak. This is the first discussion. What does Krishna say? Asamshayam mahabaho. He says, beyond doubt I agree with you, Arjun. Who is telling? Krishna. He said, beyond doubt I agree with you, Krishna, Arjun. But then, mano durnigraham chalam. But Krishna is giving us the means to control the mind. Abhyasenu tu kaunteya vairagyena chagrihiyate. Right? Practice and detachment. Right? Krishna is giving us a clue, and this is like, you can say, this can save the world. Forget about saving ourselves. What Krishna is telling can save the whole world, because everyone is in slavery of their minds. Right? वो क्या चाहते हैं, पर मन उनसे क्या करवाना चाहता है. राइट? मन में आ गया ये करना है और धीरे धीरे वो स्ट्रेंथन होके ये सब हो जाता है. तो कृष्ण कह रहे हैं 2 चीज करो अर्जुन, अभ्यास और वैराग्य. नाउ यू विल से प्रभु जी कौन सा अभ्यास, कौन सा वैराग्य? Prabhupada said 2 regulative, 2 principles. Chant 16 rounds and no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. This is vairagya in Prabhupada's words. Chant 16 rounds and accept whatever is favorable for devotion service, association, sangha, seva. And detachment, 4 regulative principles, and whatever is not good for my bhakti. At least this. So Prabhupada said, at least this for sure. And Prabhupada said this to Americans who were hippies, not to Indians. Why? Someone said, Swamiji, just remove one regulative principle of no illicit sex, and then you'll have 1 million followers. Prabhupada said, I've not come to cheat people. I've come to take people out of this Maya. Right? So this is asamshaya, abhyasa and vairagya. So whatever Prabhupada is teaching us and what we are learning, this is how we can control our minds. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. Right? No other way. Because Arjuna is qualifying, Krishna is saying, I agree. Arjuna, most influential person. Krishna, one who creates influence. He is son of Indra. Son of Indra. Son. No. His son. No, his son. No. It's like, yes, it's practice. So this is the first thing. And then Krishna says that if you keep practicing, slowly, you'll reach to success. Right? And he says, if one does not work on controlling mind and senses, he says for him, yoga is only a talk. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. The process is not going to work. We will not get there where we want to. We'll always be pulled back. So we need to do that. And we are all endeavoring. So that's a good news. We are all endeavoring. But then, if you want to move forward, then we have to embrace what Prabhupada is saying. Because what Prabhupada is saying, I think it will not be possible much simpler than that. He's giving us like the least possible for Kali Yuga. Right? So we all should understand, to deal with our minds, we keep working on these things at our own capacities. So this is the first discussion that Krishna and Arjuna are happening on the mind. And the second discussion, which I will take a little time so that we will conclude this in 10 minutes. Mataji, is it okay? We'll take 600 seconds and a little more. Right? So that's going to answer the question also of bhakti. So then Arjuna asked the second discussion. First thing, he says, not possible, sir. He said, yes, I agree. Not possible, Arjuna. The second thing Arjuna says, my dear Lord, imagine someone has taken this path of bhakti. सब छोड़ छाड़ के इस योग practice में निकल गया. Right? So he's like a ribbon cloud, Arjuna says. मतलब एक बादल, छोटा सा बादल बड़े बादल से निकला और वो अपने डेस्टिनेशन तक पहुंच नहीं पाया. तो ना घर का ना घाट का. No. And that is kind of a question now. Should I commit to Krishna? Will he kind of really take me across, or maybe I have to handle my own things also? Right, that's kind of, all in all, if I give in to Krishna, maybe, will he be able to do it? And say, Arjuna is saying, if somebody takes that risk, the whole society is saying, but let me take that risk. And then Arjuna is saying, imagine, he goes a little ahead, she goes a little ahead, and then Because of the past conditionings, the environment and association, they fall again back. So they went for yoga, but they fell into back. So materially bhi badnami hogi. Like imagine, say like I become a sadhu, right? I've taken this step of being a sadhu. Now imagine I do some mistake. Sannyasi alpa chidra sarvaloka gai. A little hole in the sannyasi's dress, character, the whole world will sing about it. Right? That is how it works. Because the sadhu's inspiration, the whole world will respect them also. That is why the other part will also happen to gravitate. So imagine I have taken this path, I left my family, left my job, left my occupation, left my bank balance, no planning, no future. I'm nothing. And I get into some fight within the movement, some issue happens, or maybe weak mind, weak senses, So they chuck me out. And the people say you're the rascal. You just putting on a show. तो अब न घर का न घाट का. This is what Arjuna is asking. I gave my life, I gave my, say, 25 years, and now I'm nowhere. The society is saying, materially I haven't done anything. And spiritually I didn't reach. And infamy. Possible? Why not? Somebody told me, कभी somebody wants to become a sadhu. They ask, Prabhu ji, हम देखे हैं बहुत लोगों के साथ दिक्कत होती है. Right? So should I take this path, what you have taken? Maybe after a little time, 20 years, something, you may get into trouble. So what? I said simple. I have given my best part of my life to Krishna. If a soldier goes on the army field and he dies, gets a hand cut, leg cut, or dies, he's given himself for a higher cause. Right? So even if something happens, I've given the best part of my life to Krishna. And then maybe things will not happen the way it should have happened. So that's kind of a thought. So I said, you decide. You don't want to fight, you don't want to lay your life, then you do what you want. Right? So this is what Krishna is being asked by Arjuna. Similarly, you become very serious in bhakti. You may think, अरे family ये बोल रहा है, business का क्या होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा, serious बन जाऊंगा, लोग ostracize कर देंगे, society में ये होगा. Right? But you may say, no, let me still do it. I know it's right. And at some point of time, there's difficulty, and they say, क्या हरे कृष्णा वाला आदमी है, देखो क्या हो गया उसको. Materially भी ज़्यादा कुछ किया नहीं, spiritually भी देखो अटक गया. So that is why many people say, हम commitment ही नहीं लेंगे, रुक के देखते हैं. भैया कितना रुक के देखोगे? जब तक कुंभ में स्नान नहीं करोगे, experience नहीं. He said, you're waiting, you're so safe that you don't move only. So where are you? In the safe, in the locker. And by that time, Maya safely takes you across. Because in this world, there is nothing called neutrality. If you're not giving in to Krishna in his romance, don't think Maya is going to wait for you. Maya is going to create another romance. Yes or no? So, then Arjuna is asking, Prabhu, क्या करूं? भक्त बन गया, हरि बोल हो गया, निंदा बाहर से, अंदर से, क्या होगा प्रभु? न घर का न घाट का. And then what does Krishna say for this? That is how this section is one of the best section of Krishna speaking. Krishna says, so we should read, I'll just read it and that's how we will conclude. Yes. Parthanaiveha namutra, he says. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said. Now Krishna is speaking, please listen. Kyo? Because you have invested with whom? With Krishna. So he has to now speak, na? तुम मुझे दिल दिया, ये सब किया. तो अब मैं बोलता हूं, तुमने you engage yourself with me. Let me talk about it. He says, "O son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil." So the first thing Krishna says, "Jo mera bhakt bana hai," he said, he will never meet destruction, whether in this world or in the next. Kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhakta pranashyati. He says, why? Because I am guaranteeing for him. I am there by his side. So who can drop him? Or even if he gets swayed. So first thing Krishna is saying, he cannot meet destruction because I am there. I will save him at the right time. I'll wake him at the right time. Even before the Khai is coming. Then he says, but if he still, because of his mind and senses, became unsuccessful, what will you do, Krishna? Krishna says, the unsuccessful yogi who just began a little bit and went off. What is going to happen? Now, this is very important for you all to hear. Especially, it is a relatable verse for each and every one of you. For myself also. He says, the unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planet of the pious living entities, Krishna will send them to heaven after this life to enjoy whatever he wanted or she wanted, limitlessly. Because the desire for enjoyment has what made them go across. Right? वो जो इच्छाएं थी उसके कारण डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो गया, मेरा ये सपना, उसको करना है अपना, तो अब हेवन का सुपरमार्केट में छोड़ दिया. और हेवन में क्या है? सबके पास अपना प्लेन है जो मंत्र से चलता है. और प्लेन कैसा है? इट्स अ पैलेस. इट कैन गो टू ऑल एक्सोटिक प्लेसेस. So you will go to heaven. There are rivers of mango pulp. Heaven is, and you can have enjoyment with no karma. Like here, Apsaras are there, Gandharvas are there, and they can have enjoyment unlimitedly. He said, Urvashi wanted to enjoy with Arjun and said, we are heavenly, celestial people. We don't get contaminated by enjoyment. We stay virgin even after indulgence. That's Apsara and Gandharva. Make sense? I'm not talking about going to heaven. If I start talking about heaven, and that's why everybody wants to be Swargavasi. जन्नत जाना है, स्वर्ग जाना है, सबका एक ही प्रोग्राम है. तो कृष्ण कहते हैं, तुम प्रोग्राम मत बना, मैं भेज दूंगा क्योंकि तू भक्त है और अय्याशी के कारण तू साइड हो गया. आई विल सेंड यू टू हेवन एंड एंजॉय देयर ईयर्स एंड ईयर्स एंड ईयर्स. जितना करना है कर ले. पोस्ट डेटेड चेक पिताजी कृष्ण ने भेज दिया, कर जितना करना है. और पूरा करने के बाद जब बोलेगा यार बहुत हो गया, then you will be born in a family of rich aristocracy. You will be born in a wealthy family where you don't have to worry for your maintenance. You're born in Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe. Pious and prosperous families. You'll be born. So a good amount of people, all of you could be coming from heaven, where you have stinking wealth even from your childhood. This is what Krishna is. A good chance. A good chance. Right? And that is how the quality of life all the people have is also heavenly. It's not like people struggling. It's like people, I can do this, I can do that. What people can dream, you kind of having it every other day. So this is the second thing. You'll be born in a pious family or an aristocratic family. Or you may be born in a family which is pious and aristocratic. And Krishna says, he takes, So that's like if you have done a little bit bhakti. Now, if you've done a lot of bhakti, you've done a lot of bhakti, and then you miss the flight. He says you'll be born in a family of devotees, transcendentalists, for whom the only program is Krishna. Why? Because you've left at a place, right? But this guy also definitely is going to go to all these experiences if he has those desires. So this is the first. And then what happens? After taking the birth, at some point of time in their life, they will remember their bhakti. Those who are born in aristocratic families and pious families, some point of time in their life, they will remember the bhakti where they left. That's what will happen. Purva abhyasena, purva dehikam. He said they'll remember their bhakti and then they will work with full force for success this time. He said now they will not keep a stone unturned. So Krishna has satiated their desire so much. Now he has no longing for anything. Why he drifted in the previous life or she drifted in the previous life? Because of some allurements. So Krishna first sent them to heaven to unlimitedly enjoy. Jitna ayashi karna hai karo. And then make them born in aristocratic and pious family. Why? So that you don't have to work for your maintenance. And then he said at one point of time, he will remember or she will remember where she or he left. And then it will go like with the express where you left. Kind of 10%, 20%, 30%, you will start from there. Wherever you left, you'll start from there. And then definitely, till the place you went in your last life, you will go very easily. A little different. Bharat Maharaj is a little different case. You will go to your, if you left at 10% or 15% or 20% or 30 or 40, whatever, to get to that, it will happen quite fast. But after that, paisa bharna padega. Then you will have to struggle for your next part of realizations. Till where you earned, you will remit quite fast. Right? So all of us, the kind of conviction we have, we're born in bhakta families and we're doing devotional service, that much to reach also is like very far for people in general. Yes or no? But now, once we get awakened, or honestly, we are all awakened, otherwise why are we sitting here? And then we put on a gear, Krishna says, to reach to success. And very interestingly, Krishna is a very amazing Lord. You know, you don't put a gear, he will switch on the gear. He'll create some situation in your life. Tala mala, jala mala. बोले कृष्ण तुम ही हो, दुनिया तो फीकी, निकल जाएगा. भगवान अपने भक्तों के लिए अलग लीला करते हैं. तो भगवान ऐसे हैं, उसको जिता के ही छोड़ेंगे.